Speaking of fight or flight, landlord TikTok.
Let's do it.
So this, I saw this. Chelsea Wolf posted this onto Twitter earlier. This a tweet. I hate landlords. I hate landlords. I hate landlords. We're gonna watch it in a little bit, and I don't want to play that one first. I want to sort of lead up to that
Yeah,
one.
let's bring it.
But this is from an account called Two Guys Take on Real Estate or something like that. I don't know. He'll remind you of it in the fucking thing. And it's, I just gotta say, like, I'm in the like sort of stereotypical small landlord, I'm the only tenant here, a situation that people like to romanticize. And I'll just say, like, even then, like, the entitlement here is just unbelievable with this sort of class of people. So here's the first one. Yeah, this is landlords doing us all a favor.
Hey, I reviewed your application for this apartment and I can't accept it. I'm sorry.
What do you mean? I have all the money for the first, last, and security.
Well, you don't meet my income requirements. All my tenants' income must be at least 3 times 1 month's rent.
That's discrimination. You can't do this.
Actually, I can, and for really good reason. I'm protecting you from making a really bad spending decision.
Protecting me? You're just being a greedy landlord.
Look, when tenants fall behind on their bills, rent is often the last thing on their list. That could end up with eviction for you and financial disaster for the both of us. Why don't I try finding you something in a less expensive area or a smaller apartment?
I will pay my rent each month. I promise.
Sorry, but there's just too much risk on my end. Banks have similar safety measures when you go to apply for a car or a home loan. You'd know more about this if you followed Two Guys Take on Real Estate.
Oh my God!
Okay,
First of all,
David.
can I just say, as somebody, I mean, hell, like, I'm barely eking by now, but I've been in even more precarious positions in my life. Rent was always the first and foremost thing in my mind. The
Yes.
first thing that I took care of because I didn't want to get evicted or thrown out. Like, to the to not paying other things. Like, there are way more expenses, like food and student loan payments or whatever, that I was putting on the chopping block first before I touched rent.
Exactly. I was gonna say student loans. Whoops.
Hell, I'd even put my car payment over for rent payment. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that's like the point beyond it is, like, it is discrimination because most people
Price
can't
discrimination.
afford fucking rent in their community. I mean, I live in my hometown, and it's devastating to hear from folks who are like me from here, and they're like, I have to leave, and they got to roll out either to like a town maybe 45, 50 minutes out of here, which only adds to the pain because the people living there who have lower incomes then have to compete with Austin, Texas style rents in cities like Lockhart, or things like that. I don't know, man. It's
yeah.
But beyond it, even like the only thing that he said that was honest is, like, I don't want to take, like, the risk, right? So instead of being honest and saying, like, oh, I just want to make sure that whoever is, like, renting my property, I can just, like, make sure that I can extract as much money from them as possible.
Yes, exactly.
As possible. Just saying that, it's like, I'm actually doing you a favor by charging an insane amount for a small apartment in a working class community.
Yes. I look, hey, I just want the easiest money possible with actually no downside. Like, okay, I'm glad you're in that position, buddy. Like, the 3 times your income, 3 times your income, I pay $2,300 a month. I'm not there. And that's why I have not moved since I've been in New York.
I mean,
Because
hell,
the situation to get here, it was me and my roommate. We both had to have our parents like sign the leases, like, and fun shit as far as I remember, and like finally got an apartment. Oh, by the way, this wasn't the one I signed for because the entire fucking industry is a bunch of crooks. I actually signed for a different apartment. They're like, oh, when they knew I was flying back to North Dakota, I fly back to North Dakota. I get a call saying, oh, actually, someone else got the paper in just before you did. But we have all these other lesser properties that you might want to be interested in now that we have your money. And so that's how I got here. And to my luck, it's like fine. Not the place that I put money down on, but like, I'm not going to fucking leave. And you know what the other thing is I'm glad you're so like, your offer to take you to one of your lesser properties that people can afford. You know what? That is an admission that you motherfuckers can't do the job that society trusts you with. Landlords are supposed to house people, but the truth is it's a conspiracy against housing people. The government could easily be building these units, and which class of people steps in the way? These guys, because they don't want that competition. And that's all this is. That's the real thing. Like that's offered like, oh, you know what? We're just trying to figure out the best way to allocate risk in society. Nah, these people want you over a barrel for the worst, shittiest apartments.
No, I think you're 100% right, and like I hope don't take offense at this, man. I've been to your place; it's a nice place, but it's not like luxury, right? And to sit here and say like to be able to live in your place, man, you have to be making $83,000 a year, right? Is so discriminatory, and I won't dox where you live, but particularly like in the part of town that you live in New York, it's really disgusting to sit here and say like, oh, this traditional working class immigrant neighborhood, you have to be $83,000 a year to be able to live there, and that's for your own benefit, by the way.
Yes.
It's truly the height of lack of awareness is maybe the nice way to put it.
Yeah. So let's play the one that Chelsea posted. This is the one that got everyone pissed off.
All right, thanks for paying your rent this month. Go ahead and sign here. It's just going to ask you a couple of questions.
A tip? I'm not tipping my landlord.
So you'll tip a barista who pours overpriced coffee.
Now, I just want to point out, and this was Swamp Communist pointed out, hey, did you guys notice how the petty bourgeois continuously use trans people as characterized stand-ins for their class enemies? And like that was the first thing that stuck out to me too. It's like, I mean, and I just want to go off on this guy's appearance a little bit too, because I rented from folks exactly like this. He's got a 1776 USA t-shirt on, gelled up hair. I stayed in Fargo at this place downtown. Last place I lived in Fargo, 8th Street. Maybe I should be too specific.
Yeah.
Actually, I won't be too specific because I want to go off a little bit. Motherfucker drove one of those 3-wheel shitty things that could only be used in like 4 months out of the North Dakota year, and had these loud ass parties, but would call the cops on you if you had a party on the thing. Lived in the unit, had the penthouse unit. Come from a real estate family is my understanding. But like fucking dumb guy, the type of guy that would get on TikTok and say we should all be tipping landlords. And so this triggered me like for that reason. Like
wait, just like really quick. We got more to get into, so I don't want to spoil all my points here. But like talking about it like that is so disgusting. Like the whole rental process in this country is fucked, right?
Yeah.
The way you get treated is horrible. With suspicion, with contempt, and you're going into contract with somebody, in most cases for like a contract worth like $27,000. Name like one other industry where like you go into contract with somebody for $27,000 and they treat you like this, right? They treat you like a moron. I mean, it's really something else. The way that we treat people just trying to do the most basic thing, which is trying to have a roof over your head and a place to stay.
Yeah, I mean, and all you have to do is search sex or eviction, and you see like the actual real fucking dark side of this country. And it's, I mean, I was looking for a specific instance, and like it's buried in all the other ones. But let's just play a little bit more of this guy, because I mean, the entitlement here, I guess, is what really is so infuriating.
All right, thanks for paying your rent this month. Go ahead and sign here. It's just going to ask you a couple of questions.
A tip? I'm not tipping my landlord.
So you'll tip a barista who pours overpriced coffee into a cup, but not the guy who's on call 24/7 to make sure you have a safe home.
I'm not tipping you. This isn't a restaurant.
Okay, so you'll tip an extra 25% for somebody to carry you a basket of chicken wings, but you won't tip someone who responds for after-hours emergency calls? Yep. Well, I guess when it's time for your lease renewal, I'm going to make sure gratuity is included in your rent. It's a little tip I learned from Two Guys Take on Real Estate.
And look, maybe you have different theories on this, Matt. I think this is content farming a little bit, in the sense like I don't think people are tipping their landlords. In fact, the only place I've ever seen that other than this is like a spoof of like the kind of like Rise and Grind Capital accounts, which is very fun. I can't remember the name of it right now, but the point he's made, like, so anyways, the point is, like, beyond whether or not this is like a genuine expression of like, oh, you should be tipping your landlord, it does reveal a mindset, right?
Mhm.
Oh, you're tipping your barista or you're tipping your waiter or server at a restaurant, but you're not going to tip me, despite the fact again that, like, you know, you're going to contract with somebody for like $27,000
Yeah.
a year already.
Right. I
Do
don't pay my barista $2,300 a fucking month. Like, you asshole.
exactly. You know, but like it's this sense of like entitlement and like lack of respect, right? That, oh, it doesn't matter that you're already giving me 25% to 30% of your income in like an ideal financial situation, which is not the case for most people in this country,
Right.
right? You should be giving me more. You should be thanking me for providing you know, this service to you, which I then take the vast majority. Your largest expense a month, and you're
Yeah,
not appreciating me enough.
this service to you, which also happens to be maintaining my fucking investment, which is actually the real thing I care about, right?
Yeah,
Because like rent is really just something you pay so that your fucking landlord doesn't go back onto the
it's
market and flip it
dead
for a higher
capital,
rent price. Yeah.
right? It doesn't
And
do anything.
yeah, and
It's
like
already
that
existing.
that you're like there 24/7. I mean, I don't know about you, but
Biggest
like
lie I've ever heard in my life. I've never experienced that before, and I've lived in, you know, like urban places and non-urban places and rented in all of them. The idea you have a 24/7 person is the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life.
exactly. Even though, like, you know, with all that money you're spending, you could probably get somebody out there that second and pay, you know, what, $1,000? Get somebody out there that night, fix whatever plumbing issue or something you got. Instead, like, I mean, I fucking learned in this place that I spend all this money for. I've learned all sorts of like home improvement and repair things on my own, just because it's like more responsive than like, you know, that.
If I was a landlord, I would shut the fuck up. Like, I would shut the fuck up, right? I would not be trying to go on TikTok to get, like, you know, engagement, right? I would shut the fuck up and be very thankful that we lived in a fucked up system where I'm able to extract this much
For
money from
nothing.
people,
Yeah, for
right?
just owning,
Yeah.
for doing nothing but owning.
But it doesn't work that way. That's the thing that's so fucked about this culture in this country is it doesn't work that way. That people like I again, like, y'all know my opinions on landlords. I'm just saying, if I were in that position where I got a sweet ass fucking deal from this fucked up system, I would shut the fuck up and
Yeah.
and not like attack like working people in the sense of like service workers or the tenants who are actually doing things, producing things in society.
Yeah. Yeah, actually do it. Like, yeah, bro, like work a job. Like honestly, like half this page is like, oh wow, I had to go do a bad big cleanup because this tenant I had to evict, which let's not get into that, but I evicted these people and I left a mess. It's like, what the fuck is the rent for? Like like every month you can't pay cleaners with that. We do have one more
Okay.
if you're ready. And then, you know, you point out the possibility that this is content farming. If this is a bit, I applaud this very well,
Yeah.
because this next one, first of all, I just want to say, like, even if this is not a bit, I don't believe that an actual father of is having this experience with the son. I think a landlord wrote this, whether it was this TikTok guy or a different landlord on Reddit. That's what I think is happening here. Nonetheless, you can kind of get a sense where the mindset and what they think is funny is.
My son wants to be a landlord and is insulting me because I am a tenant. My 41 male son, 15 male, has taken a keen interest in becoming a landlord but has also started insulting me for not owning my own house. I am glad to see he has taken some initiative, however I am concerned about his mindset. We currently live in an apartment and he has told me that I am a failure and a rentoid and that he is embarrassed to be related to someone without any land. I tried to explain to him that houses cost a lot and that I have worked very hard to provide for our family and that there is nothing wrong with choosing to rent. I also explained to him that landlords often mistreat their tenants
Wait,
and that
could
if
you
he
just
wants to be a
pause it really
landlord he
quick?
should work on being
Yeah.
Just gonna say this is separate from the large thing. This is the worst form of content on TikTok. Like the reaction, like some guy just like, you
Ooh,
know. Yeah.
yes. And like
Anyway,
that's I think it's no, it's very revealing. Like when he does the thing, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll give you credit for like, oh you probably do work hard." But watch the eye roll he gives when he says some landlords mistreat their tenants, as if it's some sort of slur on the class of
yeah.
landlord. Like, bro, mm,
hard to provide for our family and that there is nothing wrong with choosing to rent. I also explained to him that landlords often mistreat their tenants and that if he wants to be a landlord he should work on being a kind one. However, he has insisted that it is the right of landlords to charge whatever they want and has said when he is a landlord he wants to evict single mothers, which I found very concerning. He spends a lot of time on the internet and I am worried some ideas from online may be influencing his thinking.
I just think like you just to laugh over the like a kid
Yeah.
saying he wants to evict, and even if it's a lie, I think it's a lie that a landlord or someone like
Totally.
that wrote. And like that's his response, and that's the fucking business, bro. That's the actual business that you do.
Mhm.
Spends
No,
a
I
lot
mean,
of
that's your
time on the internet
position.
and I am
That's
worried
your
some
position in
Yeah.
this world.
Exactly.
ideas from online may be influencing his thinking. This month when the landlord came to collect rent my son offered him a $50 tip out of his own money. I tried to explain you do not tip landlords but he insisted I was being a greedy renter and taking advantage of the landlord. I explained that we paid significant rent already but he did not listen. Before this started he was really into video games and did not seem to try very hard in school, which I found concerning. On the one hand his grades have improved and he even started walking around the neighborhood offering to shovel to make some extra money which he has put into savings. However, his words hurt me and I feel his mindset is not constructive and compassionate. I don't want to discourage this newfound success but I am very worried about him.
Dark shit, dude. I mean, look, again, I'm gonna be honest, Matt. I think this is all content farming, or the guy's just a moron. But I
Mhm.
don't think that this is unrealistic or unrepresentative of the way a lot of these folks think about the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah. Or I mean, look, I'm down. I think people should dox this guy and figure out if he actually is a landlord.
That'd be awesome.
And we can get to the bottom of this because, or if he's just a comedian, I would say great job because, he does like. I fucking paid rent to people who would appreciate this shit.
Yeah. Um. No, I don't know, man. It's just like it's nasty antisocial shit that like is cultivated by the system that we live under, and I
Mhm.
I can't handle it.
Yeah.
While we're on, because it's post game, we're fucking around. Have you seen this account, Matt? This is my favorite account, Entrepreneur.
Okay.
We might even
Spelled
it's
like
not playing. I'm
manure.
sorry, Matt. It's not playing yet.
Is this wait? Is this a bit?
Oh
Because
yeah, this is like a big time bit. It's good.
like entrepreneur rhyming with manure or
Oh yeah,
spelled.
no.
That's hilarious. I love that.
It's like a non-stop bit. It's just like making fun of like all this hustle bro thing. Let
That's
me find a good one.
awesome.
I'll just play one really quick. Let me just find the best.
Of course, it's always
We've
funny.
definitely done this on the show before, but I'll do this one really quick.
All right, I'm going to need a volunteer for this next one. You, sir, what is your name? Brandon? Okay, Brandon, we're going to do a quick exercise, okay?
The
Sell
pluck
me
strings is
this
hilarious.
pen. Give me that fucking pen, Brandon! See what I did there? I got this pen for free using the DuPont approach, okay? Write that down. We're going to come back to it later. Oh, I guess Brandon can't write anything down because he doesn't have a pen. All right, I'm going to...
Anyway, good account to follow. They do a lot of like really funny
The music with the pluck.
that is like most of TikTok now, though. At least for me, it's like bro
Yeah.
shit, like workout, like diet stuff, and then like the most psychotic guy in the world giving you advice about how you should get into real estate, right? And it's
Yeah,
there's
passive
never
income.
like a conversation about how to get $500,000 to buy an apartment,
Right.
except for taking out and defrauding the bank on life insurance policies is like a really big one.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I was gonna say like
I don't know. This is funny. I thought this was universal. This is just like what I'm getting. It's just
I think
like
I've heard a little bit of the scam thing, but it's like it's funny how it's
entrepreneur, by the way, spelled like manure. If people
yeah.
are asking what the name of that thing is. You
That's
don't get that.
genius.
That's all I get. It's just like the most psychotic like finance things.
No, it's funny.
I
Like
think it's
I
just
get
because
a
I'm interested in that. Like I will watch like 10 of those because I think it's wild to see like the horror as somebody who spent a little time like studying economics and things like that. Like as a
right.
Marxist, like still like looking into it, like having a general sense of how these things work. like looking at the most like fraudulent shit that these guys tell you to do is just wild to me. And I can't.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting a lot of like I'm doing this on AI. And I feel like we took diverging paths from crypto, and like you got into the manosphere stuff, and like I'm
Oh
in like
yeah,
the
yeah,
AI hustle.
yeah. That's definitely true.
Because it's like, oh
Um,
yeah, I basically like I did all these businesses. I had 3 different AIs do an entire business for me, and it's like it's. But the funny thing is like it's all the fundamental American sickness, or maybe not American sickness, but wanting a passive income. I want to get fucking profits for doing shit, and
that's
like
basically what it is. Because
yeah,
that's the dream, baby. I mean, like it's like come on, like who doesn't want to not have to work for money? I mean, it's just like it's the easiest thing to sell,
but
other
like
than like weight loss pills, right?
it's so social. Like, I just wish people thought about it. And I don't mean to be like, what's the nature of money, man? But like, money is something you get to use to order the people around you, right?
Yeah.
Like, right? That's the main thing. It's to affect change that people otherwise wouldn't happen. So, like,
No,
to
you're
just a whole bunch of money to basically be like, oh yeah, I'm shutting down Bennigan's tonight. Everyone who works at Bennigan's, I'm their fucking king. Yeah,
yeah.
like it'd be nice to have that kind of money, but it's like, yeah, I don't know, it's
No,
gross.
no, you're right. I mean, it is funny because it's like the worldview there is that everybody can do this. It's like, well, no, they can't because
Because
like
if
we need
everybody
people
did,
to like do the things that need to be done in society. Like
yeah,
you know, I'm happy for you, man, if you found a way to like get out of the rat race or whatever and just like suck off of the work that everyone else is doing. But no,
yeah.
no, like we need people to do shit.
Right. Because
And it's
otherwise,
baked
who'd be
into
there
the system.
serving you, taking all your money?